if you are interested in house content, my husband and I are building a house and we have a whole channel dedicated to it. We only have a few videos right now, but we are gearing up. We are right at the beginning of the process, looking forward to breaking ground probably within the next week or two. So if you are interested in watching that process, I'm going to have a link to the other channel in the description box below, where you can just search Build a House with Byron and Christina here on YouTube, and you'll be able to find us. We are also on Instagram, TikTok, and we have a Facebook page. There's not really a ton on the TikTok or the Facebook, but I have posted some stuff over on our Instagram. And like I said, we have a couple of videos up on the channel. And so if you are into that, go find us. Hey friends, it's Christina. Guess what? I finished my book. And by the book, I am referring to Restored, which is the final book in the Eternally Tethered series, which is my paranormal series that I introduced way back in 2015. So yeah, I am here today to talk to you guys about this project, not really specifically Restored, so that I don't get into too many spoilers, but maybe a little more about the project as a whole. So my 5 things video. The book is not live yet. It's not live yet on Amazon. But if you are subscribed to my Patreon, however, it's already available for you. You are able to go and you are able to download it. Not on Amazon. It is not available for sale anywhere, but it is available as part of your subscription if you are in that ebook tier and above. For the rest of you guys, it will be available later. But before we get into that, I'm gonna get into my 5 things, okay? So first thing, you need the context of the other books. Let me say that again. You need the context of the other books. I know often I write series where you can kind of come in wherever you might be missing a bit of detail from other couples, and it might be a bit spoilery for other couples in the series, but for the most part, you know, no big deal. This ain't that type of party. This ain't that type of situation. You need the context of the other books going into this one. Otherwise, you will be confused and you will be lost if you do not remember anything from those other books. If you don't remember anything from Haunted and Coveted, I cannot recommend highly enough that you revisit those other 2 books. Even if it's just a quick skim, it's going to help you so much with you getting your bearings and with you knowing what the heck is going on. Number 2, it has taken me 6 years to write this entire series, which is crazy. But part of why it has taken so long is because having free reign on your imagination, like, it seems cute, but it's actually pretty difficult because there's a lot that you just kind of have to figure. There's just so much to figure out. And so it has taken me time, and I have to be like in exactly the right headspace and all kind of stuff going on with this. But final book in the series, we are wrapped 6 years later. Number 3, I talk so much noise about how I don't write books about established couples. And I remember, was it earlier this year? Yeah, earlier this year, I had to admit that Denver and Kenza had made a complete fool of me, because it was like, okay, no, we're writing a marriage in trouble here. We're writing a full-blown married couple figuring this thing out. I wasn't thinking about the fact that these Eternally Tethered books, all of these couples are married. And when I say married, I mean they are literally, like, they're eternally tethered. Like, they are married and have been for a very long time. And every book is about them kind of finding their way back to each other. So I do write married couples. So next time y'all be asking about married couples, I got paranormal married couples for you, okay? Number 4, I mostly had no idea what was happening in this book or any of the books until it was happening. For this one, I did kind of put down like an outline. Like I called myself doing an outline. I sat down, I thought it through, I wrote it out. Okay, this is how it's gonna go. This is how this thing is gonna happen. And then I started writing, and I immediately just completely blew up that whole outline, because once I started writing, it was kind of like imagination takes over, and you may have this thing that's on your outline that's supposed to happen, but as you're writing and as you're actually putting it on the page, it just don't really flow like that. Like something else comes up and it's like, oh, maybe this would be cool and maybe that would be cool. And you're figuring out these connections that you didn't even realize or didn't even know were happening. And you just kind of have to go with the flow, especially with something like this, where you've kind of subverted all the rules of reality. And so you have to figure out, okay, where do I draw the line? Where do I push the boundary a little? It's just a lot to figure out. And so, yeah, my pantsing versus plotting definitely came into play here. And good old number 5, which is actually related to number 4. This project, both writing it and finishing it, has me terrified to try paranormal again. Just knowing the level of stress and the amount of, I don't know what the hell is happening right now, I went through as like over these 6 years of making this series happen. I don't know if I want to do that again. And it's not that I don't have other paranormal stories on my mind, because there's actually other paranormal stories that I have put aside because I did not feel right engaging those other ones when I had this series, you know, when this series had not been closed up. And with other, like I break apart series all the time. Like that used to be my norm. You know, I write this book and start a series, and write this other book and start a series, and then I go back to that series for book 2, and then write 5 other books, and then come back to that series for book 3. But that's when that's when the books don't really connect. Like that, well, that's when the books connect but don't have a cliffhanger. I left you guys with a cliffhanger on not so much a cliffhanger on Haunted. Haunted was, you know, Haunted didn't really have a cliffhanger because I didn't want to have to go back to it. So it didn't really have a cliffhanger. It had unanswered questions, but there was no cliffhanger. Coveted, I left you guys on a cliffhanger, and I appreciate that y'all even still rock with me because that was 2 years ago. My bad. I'm sorry. Like for real, I'm sorry. But yeah, like it's not like I felt comfortable just skipping around, especially tackling something in the same genre. Like that would have just felt like, okay, like now Christina, you're really, really for real playing and you need to stop. So I did not. And so I don't know, maybe some of those stories will come back to me, and I'll feel the need to go ahead and just write it all the way through as like a, you know, not as a series or not as novellas or whatever else. I don't know, but I do know that I'm terrified. But I've never let being terrified stop me from doing anything when it comes to this book stuff. So if it happens, and we'll just figure it out. So that has been my 5 things to know about Restored / the Eternally Tethered series in advance of it coming out. You are very likely watching this video before I've even hit publish for it to go public, but I am getting ready to hit publish here shortly. This book will be available on Amazon. It will not be exclusive to the site first. You definitely need to heed the content warnings for this one. I put it at the very front of the book, but just in case you don't want to read that or you typically skip it, you should know that Restored does contain references to pregnancy / infant loss. It's not graphic, it's not detailed or anything like that, but that is in there, and I want you to, you know, take care of yourself, be mindful of that. Paperbacks. If you are someone who enjoys paperbacks, those will be coming later. I still have to make a decision on if there will be individual or if I'll do kind of the omnibus collection where they're all kind of put together. I kind of want to separate them because it's like the omnibus is cool and it's a little cheaper, you know, it's a little cheaper for the consumer, but you lose the magic of the individual covers when you do that. And that's something that's like really been on my mind lately. So I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think. Do you like if you're someone who typically purchases paperbacks, do you like having the omnibus collection where it's all 3 novellas in one book, or do you prefer to have them separate so that you can, so that you have each one of the covers separately? Let me know about that. Audio people, I have already engaged the narrator who did the first 2 projects in this series. We're going to see how, when I can get on her schedule in order to get this book available in audio format. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, and the book will be live later, and I look forward to hearing what you guys think about it. Bye.